Good morning, class. In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about plants and the introduction to plants. We will learn about differentiation of different living and non-living things, and we will be able to identify the basic needs of plants. Some of the words that we're going to hear in our read aloud today are plants and soil. Can everybody say plants with me? Everybody say plants. All right, now everybody say soil. Okay, once you guys hear those words and I read aloud today, I want you guys to give me a thumbs up when you hear them, okay? All right, we will be learning about plants for the next couple of weeks. We'll be learning about how plants are another type of living things that we see every day all around us, okay? All living things need food, water, and air. People and animals are all living things because they need food, water, and air. In the same way, plants like trees and flowers are also living things that need food, water, and air. Living things also reproduce or have or make babies that look like themselves. Since plants and living things, since plants are living things, they also reproduce and make plants that look like themselves. Okay, so let's look here at my picture here. All right, let's see if we can name some of these objects in my pictures. What do we have here? We have a cat, yes, a frog, a rooster, a ant. Yes, those are all animals. Good job. All right, we also have a little girl here who's a human like you and I, who's also a living thing. All right, what else do we have? We have some grass and some trees, different types of trees. We have flowers, different types of flowers. Okay? All these items in my picture are all living things. And they can reproduce other things that look exactly or similar to themselves. Okay? All right, I'm going to read a list of things to you guys. And I want you guys to give me a thumbs up if it's a living thing and a thumbs down if it is not a living thing. Okay? Is everybody ready? All right. What about a dog? Is a dog a living thing? Good job. Yes, a dog is a living thing. What about a tree? A tree is a living thing. Good job. What about a rock? No, a rock is not a living thing. Okay. What about a cat? Thumbs up. Good job. Yes, we do have a cat in our picture. All right. What about a chalkboard? Is a chalkboard a living thing? No, a chalkboard is not a living thing. What about a crayon? No, a crayon is not a living thing. All right, a person or people like you and I. Are we living things? Good job. Yes, we are. All right, a table. No. Good job. And a flower. Yes, a flower is also a living thing. All right, we're going to get ready to read our read aloud and talk about our different plants on today. Remember, when you guys hear the words plants and soil, to give me a thumbs up, okay? All right, you guys have your listening ears on? All right, I want you guys to turn your listening ears on so that you can find out what plants need to live. There are many different kinds of people, animals, and plants that live in our world. The word plant means living things that have leaves and roots and make their own food. You probably recognize many of the living things in this picture. In some ways, people, animals, and plants are alike. They are all alive. They need food, water, and air to grow and stay alive. But plants, people, and animals are different in many ways. How do you think plants and animals are different? Good job, you are right. Unlike animals, people, plants do not make sounds and they cannot move from one place to another. Let's look at this picture. Plants need four basic things in order to live and grow. They need food, water, air, and light. If a plant has these things, then it can survive, even in a little crack in the sidewalk. You guys see my picture? Yes, and you see how this little yellow flower is growing in this sidewalk? Let's learn how it's growing in that sidewalk like that. The yellow flowering plant in this picture is called a dandelion. A few weeks ago, a tiny dandelion seed floating through the air and landed in this crack, where there was just enough soil for it to begin to grow. Good job, you guys heard it. Soil is the top layer of dirt where plants can grow. This dandelion gets plenty of sun here in this sidewalk, and it also gets plenty of air, water, and nutrients. Nutrients is like a vitamin you get from your food. Okay? You guys see my picture? This shady forest is home for many different types of plants, from the tallest tree to the tiniest flower. A forest is a large area of land where many trees grow close together. Animals that live in the forest depend on these plants for food and for their homes. This forest is just one environment or place where living things live, of many on this earth. You see the picture? Yes, it does look a little different from the forest. Good observing. This is another type of forest. There are some major differences between the colors and the shapes of the trees in these trees on the leaves of the trees in the last picture. In the last lesson, you will learn about two different types of trees. All right. Anybody know what kind of tree this is? Okay, well, let's read about it. This environment looks very different from the forest we saw in the last image. All plants need food, water, air, and light, but not every place in the world has exactly the same amount of food, water, air, and light. This is a desert where it is hot and dry all year round. Plants that grow here, such as cactus, have adapted to the life in sandy soil with very little rainfall beneath the blazing hot sun. That tough little dandelion and the trees you saw in our early images, they wouldn't be able to live or stay alive in this hot sun, guys. The cactus in this desert would not be able to stay alive in the sidewalk crack or in the forest. Different types of plants grow in different environments or places. So would the cactus be able to survive in the forest? No. All right. Would the trees that's in the forest, would they be able to survive in the desert? No, it is too hot. Yes, it is too hot. This picture shows an underground environment. Fish may be the first things that come to your mind when you think about underwater life, but there are plants down there too. Underwater plants need the same thing other plants need, including food, water, and light. Have you ever seen an underwater plant? Maybe at an aquarium or in a fish tank, maybe? Okay. All right, let's look at this picture. This environment is not a forest, not a desert, and definitely not underwater. This is a city park made when some people gathered seeds and planted them in the ground. People plant grass seeds on lawns and in parks so they are nice places to play and relax. People plant flowers and trees to make the world a prettier place. You see how pretty this picture is? How the flowers are growing and they're red, the different colors in the flowers that are in the trees and planted in the lawn. Yes, those are pretty. All right, we have another plant to talk about. Some plants can grow indoors. Maybe you even had one in your classroom. If so, someone needs to water it from time to time so it stays healthy and green. All plants have 4 basic needs: food, water, air, and light. But not all plants can grow in all the same places on Earth. A dandelion cannot grow in the desert, and a corn plant cannot grow underwater. Over the next several days, you will learn all about different types of plants and plant parts, and you will understand why plants are so important to animals and people. All right. Let's see what we remember from our story. I'll read aloud and see what we found out and understand, okay? All right. Can you name some different places where plants live? Raise your hand. Good job. Yes, some places where plants can live include the desert. Good job. Underwater and in the park. Good job. You guys are paying attention. All right, let's look back at our desert picture, guys. Let's look back at our desert picture. How are these plants the same? The desert picture, the plant from the desert, and our plant from inside. How are these plants the same? Good job. Yes, they both are plants. What else makes them the same? What do plants need to live or survive? Great job. Yes, they are plants that need food, water, and air to survive or stay alive. Well, how are they different? Can somebody tell me how they are different? Okay, how are they different? Good job. Yes, the cactus and the house plant, they are different because they live in different places or environments. Their environments are different. The house plant lives on the inside of a home or a house, maybe even your school classroom. And the cactus lives in a dry desert where there's hardly any rain. And the air that surrounds it is very dry. Okay. What did you guys learn about plants in our Read Aloud today that makes you think plants are living things? How do we know that plants are living things? Good job. Yes. Plants need food, water, and air, and sunlight just like we do, just like people. Yes, they do. Good job. Are plants living or non-living? Living. Great job. You guys were listening today. Pat yourself on the back. Good job. All right. What do you think would happen if plants didn't have food, water, air, or sunlight? What do you think would happen? You're right. They would not be able to stay alive. They would die. All right. All right, now I want you guys to take a second. I want you guys to turn to your partner. And I want you guys to, we're going to do some think, pair, sharing, okay? I want you guys to take a second and talk with your partners. I want you to name one way that plants and animals are the same and one way that they are different, okay? I'm going to give you guys a minute to talk with your partner about how plants and animals, how one way they are the same and how one way they are different. Okay? You guys have 1 minute. Turn and talk to your partner. Good job. I hear some good answers. Oh, you guys are listening. I hear really good answers. All right. Who wants to share? All right, let's come back together. Who wants to share? Who can share and tell us? Great job. Yes, animals and plants are alike because they can make, reproduce. That word is reproduce. Good job. Yes, they can make other plants that look like themselves, or the animals can have babies that look like themselves. Good job. Okay, what's another? How are they different? Who can tell me a way that they're different? Plants and animals. How are they different? Good job. Plants cannot move from place to place, but animals can. Good job. You guys were really listening. You all were really listening today. All right. We talked about the word soil on today. Can you guys say that with me? Can everybody say soil? Soil. Soil is the top layer of dirt where seeds and plants can grow. Okay? The plants pushed in two ways through the soil as it grow. Okay? So soil is the way that plants can is what helps plants to grow. All right? All right, we're going to get ready to go back to our seats now. And when you guys go back to your seats, I have a small activity for you guys. All right, is everybody back? All right, how do we know that plants are living things, everybody? Let's remember, how do we know that plants are living things? We know that plants are living things because they need food, water, air, and sunlight in order to live. Good job. All right, I have one other small activity before we start on our little closing for today. Okay, if you guys look here in my picture, there are many different kinds of people, animals, and plants that live in our world and all around us. Okay, here we have plants, we have different kinds of trees, we have some being planted, we have some leaves, there are our type of plant, we have fruit growing on trees. Those are also types of plants. Okay, Plants mean living things that have leaves and roots and make their own food. I want you guys to hold up. You guys can see the numbers on the top of my paper. Here we have 1 where there are living flowers. Here we have 2 where they're being planted. And we have 3 where it's an environment. It's like a city. You see the lights in the sky and the air. Okay? I want you guys to hold up 1, 2, or 3 fingers to show me which image on the poster shows the meaning to the question that I asked. Okay, guys? All right. Plants also mean putting seeds in the ground. All right. Hold up 1, 2, or 3 fingers for the image that shows plants being put into the ground before they grow. 2. Good job. Yes, 2. All right. Plants can also mean being manufactured or in a building or city. If you guys can see the city with the lights and the factories where plants can be produced or whatever, where they can be made. People are making things. Hold up 1, 2, or 3 fingers to show me which picture shows where plants can be made. Good job. 3. All right. Now I want you guys to take out your drawing books. Take out your drawing books for me. I want you guys to draw me one thing plants need to survive. In your drawing books, I want you all to draw me one thing that plants need to survive. Okay, once you guys are finished drawing your picture, we'll be done for the day. We'll go over them. I'll let a couple of people show us what you drew, and we'll be done with our knowledge lesson for today. Does everybody understand? Does everybody have what they need? Okay. Let's get busy.